Hi, I'm Dr. Rebecca Salcedo, Director of Scholarships and Financial Aid at the University of Arizona. Today we're going to talk about financial aid for public health students and address any questions that you might have about your aid. The cost of attendance that you see in your award letter includes both direct costs, so expenses that you will or may receive a bill from the university for, and indirect costs, things that you're already paying for but have the opportunity to borrow student loans to cover if you need to. For the direct costs, there are tuition and fees. Your tuition and fees is based on your residency. And books can be a direct cost if you charge them to your bursar's account, but if you buy your books not through the University of Arizona bookstore, you wouldn't get a bill from the university for those. Your room, your meals, travel, miscellaneous expenses, things like laundry, deodorant, contact lenses, those are all extra things that you're probably already paying for right now, so you may not want to borrow loans for those costs. However, they are considered an educational expense, and so if you choose to borrow loans to cover those costs, you may. Student loans are just that, money that you borrow and you're required to pay back. The primary loan options available are unsubsidized federal direct loans and the PLUS loan. Unsub loans accrue interest that begins to accrue from the moment that you take out the loan. The interest rates for these loans are set July 1st of each year. So the rates for July 15 have not yet posted, but they will probably change. When you borrow an unsubsidized or PLUS loan, there is an origination fee, so you want to take that into account when you're requesting loan funds. Repayment of your student loans begins 6 months after you graduate, as long as you stay enrolled at least as a half-time student. There are many repayment options available for students, so if at any point after graduation you want to discuss payment options, you'll contact your loan servicer. While you're considering what amount of loan you're going to borrow, there are many loan calculators available online to figure out how much you're borrowing and what your loan repayment amount will be per month after you graduate. Grad PLUS loans are similar to unsubsidized loans, although they are credit-based. So before you're able to accept a Graduate PLUS loan, you will have your credit checked by the Department of Education. Again, the interest rates will be finalized after July 1st of 2015. If you have any questions about your student loan process, you should go to our website, financialaid.arizona.edu, and review the information under student loans. Masters of Public Health and Doctorate of Public Health students can borrow up to $33,000 of unsubsidized loans in the academic year. Other graduate program students are able to borrow up to $20,500 of unsubsidized loan in the academic year. The way the unsubsidized loan is divided is you get half in fall, half in spring, and then either the remainder of your academic year loan eligibility in the summer, or if you've used all of your loan eligibility, you can borrow or request a Graduate PLUS loan in the summer. Again, tuition, fees, and books is a lesser number than your total cost of attendance per term. And so depending on your year in school or how much money that you're looking to borrow, you do not need to borrow the full loan amount that has been offered to you. However, your room, meals, travel, and miscellaneous are considered educational expenses. So if you have to borrow student loans to cover those costs, you may. So let's do a scenario. Let's assume you're a first-year Arizona resident student or an online student or even a non-resident student that has some funds in savings and you're trying to limit your student loan debt. If you only accept $12,000 for the academic year, you would get $6,000 in your fall term and $6,000 or slightly less than that in your spring term. That would cover a good portion of your tuition costs, and then you would pay any remainder of your books out of pocket. That is an option. Whichever amount you want to borrow, you need to remember that it will be split 50-50, half in fall, half in spring. As your unsubsidized loan may not be sufficient to cover your full cost of attendance, we can offer you a Graduate Plus loan per your request, up to your remaining cost of attendance. For additional information regarding the Graduate Plus loan, you may visit the Federal Student Aid website. For information specific to U of A students, you'll want to visit financialaid.arizona.edu under student loans. There are 3 steps to accepting student loans. The first step is to go onto your UAccess Student Center and accept the amount that you want to borrow. The second step is to complete a Master Promissory Note. That is a link for you on the Department of Education's webpage where you understand the terms and conditions of the loan that you're borrowing. Loan entrance counseling is the third step, and that again is only required once while you're a student at the University of Arizona. Again, if you're wanting to borrow additional Graduate Plus loans, you would send an email to askaid@email.arizona.edu with the request to borrow additional Plus loans. Scholarship Universe is a scholarship matching system exclusively to U of A students. You log in with your NetID and password, and we will show you all of the national, regional, other scholarship opportunities that we are aware of and that you're eligible to apply for. They may be experience-based or subjects-based, but they are additional sources of funding beyond student loans. The busiest time to apply for scholarships is between November and June. However, either sign up for email notifications or check back regularly to see if there's new scholarships that you're eligible to apply for. Your UAccess Student Center contains really important information for you to see about your financial aid. On the left-hand side, there's links specific to financial aid. The one at the top is the financial aid authorization. That is the link that you would go if you want to authorize financial aid to pay for all of the charges on your bursar's account other than your mandatory tuition and fees. So for example, if you were choosing to charge your books to the bookstore, that would post to your bursar's account. If you want your financial aid to be able to pay those expenses, you would need to authorize financial aid to pay. Otherwise, you could owe a balance to the university even after you had received a financial aid refund. In the next few links, there's information about your financial aid award and where you go to accept or decline your financial aid offer, mainly your unsubsidized or your Grad Plus loans. In the center, the page contains your bursar balance, so how much is owed to your account. In the bursar section, you can also set up for web refund. Web refund is where you go in and just like direct deposit, you enter your bank account information and we will send your financial aid refund directly to that account as opposed to sending a paper check in the mail. On the right-hand side, the notices and holds displays any information that's important for you to know, and to-do list items identify any outstanding items required to complete the financial aid process. There are several important information links where you can go to gain additional information. The Graduate College lists information about policies for U of A graduate students. CAP Mail is the official email that financial aid and other administrative offices use, so you're going to want to check your @email.arizona.edu account, specifically for your financial aid requirement notice. A FAFSA, which stands for Free Application for Federal Student Aid, must be filed each year. You can fill it out as soon as January 1st of the year in order to be able to receive federal direct loans. If the academic year is going on, it's not too late to fill out a FAFSA, so please do that as soon as you're able to. StudentAid.gov is a resource for you to get information on the most recent interest rates, as well as loan repayment options, or a student loan calculator that would be useful to figure out what your student loan payment will be after you graduate. There are many forms available on the financial aid webpage. Just a few forms that you may find need to access are a student budget reevaluation or a student resource reevaluation. A budget reevaluation may be necessary if the standard cost of attendance that you have been awarded is not enough to cover your educational expenses. An example might be if you have child care expenses that you need to cover in order to be a student, and you are seeking to borrow additional loan funds to cover those expenses. A resource reevaluation is used if the income information that's listed on your most recent FAFSA is no longer accurate. So for example, if on your 2014 tax return, it indicated income that you are no longer making or no longer making that amount of income, you would want to fill out a resource reevaluation so we can adjust your FAFSA data. The Bursar's webpage has a list of frequently asked questions that gives you information about web refund, dates and deadlines, and payment plan options. The U of A also has another great service available. It's called 24/7, and that's what that is, 24/7 resources to answer any questions you might have about your email or logging into your UAccess Student Center. The Office of Scholarships and Financial Aid information is listed here. Please contact our staff if you have any questions about your aid or need your aid adjusted. I hope this information was helpful, and thank you for your time.